OneMore. I'm Brian Erickson. Each week, we feature two new guests. We bring them on Hendo's couch, we sit them down, and we find out why they do what they do. And this week is no exception. We have from Southwest New Jersey, a songwriting and singing duo named Nalani and Sarina, and we have local music journalist Bob Makin. But first, and as always, my large adult son, Chris Dubrow.
Hello, my large adult father.
How are you?
I'm afraid people are going to think that we're actually related, and we're not. We're the same person 10 years apart.
Yes.
So that's just to clarify to the viewers.
So one of us had a time machine and either went forward or back.
Oh, if you had to choose, I'm putting would I want to go forward 10 years and see how it ends up? Or
what happened is you went forward 10 years and you were like, wow, I really lost my looks.
And then you went back 10 years and like, wow, I never had any looks. No matter what, any time frame you put us in, you're going to love Weezer. So, that's going to be consistent.
Just frustrated, frustrated suburban men.
Yeah, that sounds – is that our side project that you and me do together? Yep. Yeah, that tracks.
Checks out.
Frustrated suburban
We have
men.
to stop playing in other people's bands, make our own band.
I feel like that's literally the story of Ben Folds. I think we just became Ben Folds.
Did we? Yeah, what? Can I tell you something?
Please. If it's about Ben Folds, absolutely. I'm going to yell at Avery, so keep going.
I know everything about Ben Folds.
Okay.
Everything. I know his parents' names.
Why do you know so much about Ben Folds? Are you Ben Folds?
No. But
did we just get that scoop?
He was like an obsession of mine for a long time, early on.
Okay.
I could tell you his parents' name. He's got a brother named Chuck, who plays in a local cover band called Rubber Band.
Why do you know this?
Because when you just obsess over an artist.
So Ben Folds is your guy.
That for a long time.
Okay, let me ask you: the unauthorized biography.
The unauthorized biography of Reinhold Messner.
So Avery Mandeville claims that's a better album than Rockin' the Suburbs, and I strongly disagree. I think
you'd be wrong.
How okay?
And we're gonna go over this when we have Avery on the show on Monday, April 1st.
Tune in then, not now. But
no, definitely now. Don't
also
not
tune
in now.
I mean, if you're watching it, where are they gonna go?
I get
You know,
well, I don't know. You to click on the Domino's ads.
Yeah, I might do it. If I had to choose between watching myself talk or Domino's, I know what I'm picking.
So go ahead.
My point is simply that Rocking the Suburbs, he gets a little cheeky during it, but I think first of all, track listing, the sequencing, so much better than the unauthorized biography. I just think that
I taped an entire podcast about Reinhold Messner.
And do you think the track sequencing is good?
Yeah, because the first half of the album, because we actually had the vinyl record too.
Okay. I just heard someone audibly sigh. So
when you split it in half, it ends on Hospital Song.
Yeah.
And then you flip it over. It starts with Army. The first half is a sick man dying. Hospital Song is him dying. You flip it over, and Hospital Song is him kind of on the brink, and then the entire second half is that moment where your life flashes before. So
that's what you think?
Thinking about the Army, thinking about Jane, thinking about his regrets, thinking about his dad, until the final song, Lullaby, where he flies away.
So you're saying that it's Ben Folds' version of
record. It's a song cycle.
It's Ben Folds' version of the Black Parade.
Essentially,
the same album, more or less. Well, here's the thing. Okay, if that's true, or if that's how you view it, fine. But that doesn't change the fact that the first half of the album is kind of slow, and monotonous,
very slow.
And the second half, the sequencing is just
But it's done that way on purpose.
Yeah, but even if it's done that way on purpose, that still means that the sequencing just isn't that great. You know what I mean?
Your sequencing's not that great.
Well, I think Rockin' the Suburbs has a great sequencing.
It's fine. It's got some good songs.
I
like it. It's excellent.
Anyway, do you have anything else we want to talk about, or should we just argue about more
Burns
white boy music?
They celebrated their first anniversary this past Friday at the Saint.
My band had a release show for our new single, Hard on You by the Burns. Check it out on Spotify.
Yeah, you guys finally got to the Saint.
Yeah, we've finally been there. We even in the song, we talk about how we've never been there. We still have yet to be there, but we were there. It was great. Yeah, no, that was a good time. You played. You were wonderful. I think we did a duet.
A last-minute addition. Yeah, maybe we'll throw the duet up on the
is there a
Facebook
video
page
of that?
Yeah.
I was a little too drunk on
it was only 15-second clip. So we'll toss it up on the Facebook. On the OneMore Facebook page.
Anyway,
Yeah, so it was a good time.
I had a good time.
And speaking of good times, shall we bring out our first guest?
Please.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Makin. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Oh, well, you got it?
Yep.
All right. Just tighten you up there. Hub City Music Festival, huh?
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
Which one is that from?
This
year,
is from
last year?
2 years ago.
Oh,
when,
with Low Light and Roadside Graves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was there. That was a
Battery
good one.
electric.
Yeah, that's right. Battery. I think I was upstairs for that, like ordering more drinks in the spirit of Battery Electric.
There you go.
Like I was refueling.
They're the kind of band that if you were like, oh yeah, I had to stick around, I didn't want to go get another drink, I wanted to see your set, they would be offended by you. Like,
Yeah,
they'd rather you be
They'd say,
drinking
no,
than seeing
go
their set. Yeah.
upstairs, reload, come back down.
That's them.
Yeah, that was a good night.
Denim
That was
Clad
a really
Devils.
fun night. And that was what's his face from that label was there too. That was that round table you guys did.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
What
Joe
was that label?
Steinhardt from Don
Screaming
Giovanni.
Females. Yeah, Don
Yeah.
Giovanni. Yeah, yeah. That
That
was
was
a nice
fun.
event.
Yeah.
So you're getting into booking events these days.
Yeah, I have been. I've done it for a really long time, but had to take a much longer break than I would have wanted to.
Okay.
Just due to a corporate merger, I didn't really get to cover entertainment for about 7 years. But it's good to be back. It's good to be having my column, Making Waves, and to be putting on shows again.
Well, let's let's talk about that column for a minute. Now, first, let's kind of go back to the beginning, if we could. When did you start writing?
Professionally, I started.
No. When did you start? Like, what were your compositions like?
Oh,
as
you
a,
mean
like as a kid?
when I was like 7?
Well, when it maybe became apparent to you or a teacher or
Right.
family that like, oh yeah, this isn't just some kid scribbling. That there might be something like a
Yeah.
little more to what you're doing than maybe what some of your classmates were doing.
Yeah, I was actually in 2nd grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 7 years old, and I wrote a short story about Evel Knievel.
Okay.
And then in
Fictional or-
fictional, yeah. And the teachers loved it. And then I wrote a short story about a boxer in 8th grade, and the teacher wrote on the paper, "You need to be a writer." And I thought that she gave me 110 on it. Out
Was
of 100.
that your aha moment where?
I think that really the Evel Knievel thing was the aha moment.
Really,
And,
that young?
Yeah, and because my dad was the entertainment editor of the Asbury Park Press.
Okay,
So
I
it's
didn't know that.
yeah.
So this is something now you're exposed to. Like,
Yeah.
Dad comes home from work.
Yeah.
Hangs up his fedora and his old trench coat, puts his briefcase down,
Yep.
and I don't know. You hear about it.
Yeah, and I would tear through the Asbury Park Press's entertainment section as a little kid, and then, when in 8th grade when I got that nice note from the teacher, I was like, okay, yeah, we're definitely going to do this, because there was a little while there when I wanted to be a boxer.
Okay.
And I love combat sports. I always have, since I was like probably about 11 or 12. And I've,
Did you
that's
ever?
my
Did
hobby.
you ever? Did you ever dabble in that? Did you ever get to box?
Yeah, I boxed in Howell, the PAL in Howell, and I wrestled in high school, and I did a lot of different kinds of martial arts, all along the way. And so, that's kind of my hobby, is especially like kickboxing,
Wow.
But when the teacher had said that to me, I was like, yeah, no, I need to be a writer. I'll get my butt kicked as a boxer. So.
Wow, though, that's interesting. It's always interesting knowing like the extracurriculars that people people like to do. Like, I don't know, just thinking about that being a boxer, being like a prize fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
Dabble in
fun.
prize fighting. We all do that sometimes.
When did you first? When did you turn pro?
Well,
Or what was your first paid writing?
Well, see, I consider it pro when you get something in the Asbury Park Press, even if you don't get paid for it.
Okay.
When I was 15, I won an opportunity at a high school journalism symposium put together with the Asbury Park Press to write for their youth page, which I started to do in my junior year.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
so from that like September 1980 to I guess about December of 1986, through the rest of high school and all through college, I wrote for the Asbury Park Press.
Wow.
Yeah, I wrote the Stone Ponies 10th anniversary story with the great help of Lee Maricky, who was had a big role there back then. And we did a story on Jersey Artists for Mankind, which was like Asbury Park's version of We Are the World.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it was really a lot of fun. It's great. And then I did a really stupid thing, and when I graduated, I went into public relations. Absolutely hated it. Felt like a zombie on that train, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting because I remember. What did you major in journalism or
Yes.
just straight communication?
I double majored in journalism and cinematography.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's. I remember a passing interest of my own in PR in college, and then very quickly, dabbled and then veered away from that because you find out that it's not just about people doing the right things and making sure that it looks good. It's like people doing not the right things and trying to kind of get out of it.
Yeah, it's a little fishy.
And that seems a little more like what PR kind of is at the heart of it. So,
Yeah. Although,
you've definitely entered a more noble profession, especially considering the work you do in this area. Covering artists like Nalani and Sarina, who we're going to meet in a few minutes, and Chris's band, the Burns. Myself, like this. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't, for you kind of tipping me off and introducing me to these guys like a year and a half ago, whenever it was. So, I mean, there's always, making connections, if you would.
Yeah, it's always been a lot of fun.
Now, so you're doing this youth page. You're kind of covering the Stone Pony and the, what were those days like, and what do you compare? Like, how do you compare writing then to your journalistic work then to what you do now? Like, what are the differences?
It's really interesting because at that time, that was like, the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, Asbury Park was very much a cover scene. Like, one of the greatest original bands of all time had come out of there, Bruce Springsteen, and put the city on the map as an original scene. But there were other places at that time, like, say, in the mid-80s, that were presenting more original bands, Hoboken and New Brunswick.
Oh yeah, I mean Maxwell's was huge. Every band
Maxwell's,
worth
definitely.
I mean, imagine that, like having REM at Maxwell's and like 15 people are there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
REM
Such
like
an amazing
19,
history.
85.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that must have been something. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and so what happened was that it was really everything around Asbury. Like, also the Green Parrot came around, and HTG were playing local bands, and Asbury was like, well, we've got a lot of really great bands around here, original bands. So, and what was also happening was they were having more and more national acts come into the Stone Pony.
Okay.
And so just, put two and two together, have the local original bands open for the national acts. And then that's when Asbury really started to embrace, so much of the original local music, which is kind of ironic because there were so many great original bands that came out of the upstage and the formation of the Pony, like Lance Larson's band, Lord Gunner, and, just bands that Tony Palagrosi were in,
Chris's dad.
Yeah.
Did you know? Did you know my father?
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly it. And so...
And our guys last week, Colossal Street Jam, too. Those guys were, mid-late 80s? Something like
late 80s, yeah. And so, Asbury, really kind of got on the original tip in a big way. And so you had a really strong original music scene with a lot of venues throughout the entire state. And while what's interesting now is that because of the ease of digital recording, you have even more really good bands than you did then, but you don't have any place to play.
Yeah, and a lot of people, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, there's too much." It's like an oversaturation. And then, to that, I think, my own response is, well, have you heard, like Taradente? Have you heard Avery? Have you heard Lowlight? Have you heard Battery and this and that and the other? And I mean, you'd say, have you heard these, 50 or 100 or, Experiment 34 or whoever, the Burns, like there's many, many, many bands.
The Paper Jets.
That all deserve to be heard.
They do. And that's one of the reasons why I do the shows.
And it's like, imagine if, bands like that were around then, when it was just print media, but still kind of finding ways to make music and, kind of pass it around out there. Like the dearth of talent that's just so available now.
Yeah, it really is great. I just wish there were more places to play. And,
Yeah.
It's like I always did shows. I've been doing shows since like 1990. And, but I didn't feel like they were all benefits before. It was like if there was a need to do a benefit, I would do one.
Well, sometimes that's a nice way to let maybe a venue that might not be so keen on doing something like that to kind of get them to do it, because it's like, oh, well, we're going to do a benefit. Maybe they're just a little more open than they would have normally been, at least at that point. And now, once you establish yourself, it's a little different. But
yeah, now they're not so much benefits. It's just like, if I just feel like, there's so many good bands. It's really hard for a good band, a good local original band, to get paid well, because there's so many slices of the pie.
Yeah.
And, I don't put on the shows to make money. So my slice of the pie can go to the bands.
Yeah.
And I figure, if I can make it as rocking a special event as I possibly can, then that becomes a really good gig.
Do you have a particular, like one or two shows that you've curated that kind of stick out as favorites?
Well, the first show back, when the column came back, and Nalani and Sarina were the first act to be featured back in Makin Waves after a fairly long break that I didn't really want to take. Then that October 2016, I did the first Makin Waves Rock Circus, and that was so much fun.
Those are fun. Those are fun.
You played one.
Yeah,
you played the second
we played, at Roxy and with Lowlight and Black Flamingos.
Yep.
And was it Centennials? No. Who was the other?
Who was that fourth band?
Oh, Yawn Mower. That's
Yawn
right, 'cause
Mower,
there's
yeah.
Two,
Yawn Mower.
3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Two-piece trio, quartet, and
a 5-piece.
Lowlight. Yeah.
Yeah. That was really fun, and I'm really proud of this show we've got coming up. It's funny when you put on shows. I mean, you know what this is like with Red Pants. It just happened to you with Cold Seas. A band drops, and if they drop at the last minute, you're like really scrambling to fill their slot, because you kind of have to, because the venue needs to sell drinks.
But you know what, though? It kind of comes back, wouldn't you say it sort of comes back to the abundance of local talent we've got, that the next band is just, a text or a phone call or an email away, and you've got a lot of options before you just say, well, what do we do?
Right. And so what ended up happening is the show got even better, because it's an all-day festival on March 31st at the Wonder Bar to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Makin Waves.
Yeah,
but
this is
like
2 p.m. to 2 a.m. 12 hours.
Yep. And the last band dropped, so I needed to fill that hole, and I ended up filling the hole with Deal Casino,
who sold out Stone Pony when they played there over the summer.
Right. So they're playing, and we have an all-star upstage jam that Paul Whistler's now going to move his set to midnight, and we've invited all these artists from the upstage. So now you've got a show that like spans really in depth, spans 3 generations, baby boomers, Gen X, and millennials, all playing together on the same day at the same event. And it's really nice because it kind of, in a way, symbolizes the history that is Asbury Park, you know?
And that's, that's special, because it's not, I guess it's 30 years of the work you've been doing that also reflects the last 30 years that Asbury and this whole music scene has been on the map. And that's great work, and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for coming
Thanks
on.
for having me. Good seeing you guys.
Thanks, Bob.
And just so you know, these 2 guys are playing for me in the summer.
Are we?
At Asbury Park Brewery.
Yes.
We got to answer
We
some emails.
have not announced that yet, but
Bob Makin.
yes, Bob Makin, everybody.
We ain't faking. Ladies and gentlemen, One More with Brian Erickson is brought to you by Mr. Pizza Slice, a Red Bank institution with a new vibe. For over 45 years, Matt, can I get my pizza, please? For over 45 years, Steve operated Mr. Pizza Slice on Mum Street in Red Bank. The new owners have 100% kept the original pizza called Steve's Original Pie, as well as the signature Italian hot dogs, my nickname for Brian, and French fries, Brian's nickname for me. Thank you, Matt Smith.
Whoa. No plates?
No, what?
With your bare hands?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat it with my bare hands. What?
Yeah, but you put it on a plate first.
I'm just gonna put it in the thing. Does that work?
Use that every week.
Yeah, that's actually kind of disgusting. I kind of ruined the slice. I'm gonna eat it anyway. Listen, new additions include pizza with various toppings that can be ordered by the slice, hot and cold sandwiches, and smaller appetizer dishes. Of course, our nickname for Rochelle. They've kept a lot of Steve's feeling here in the classic video game machines and added delivery service, longer hours, and Sunday hours. Mr. Pizza Slice. It's pizza by the slice. That's not their slogan. Brian?
Let's welcome Nalani and Sarina. Hello, welcome.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here. This is excellent. You guys came here on Bob's recommendation, and I had seen you guys at the Welcome America Festival in Philadelphia, 2 years ago, I want to say, something like that. Did you play there?
I don't remember. They all blur together at this
Like
point.
this big, well, it was like a big kind of street festival in Philadelphia.
Maybe. Yes, I do remember that. It
Okay, I was gonna
outdoors,
say,
it was
did
during
I-
the summer?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you have a twin for, to help you remember
To
this.
help, kind of complete each other's thoughts.
Exactly,
And fill in the blanks and
exactly.
things. I like that. You're like, that's why I had a twin.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That's why I did this.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
that's what she's there for.
Yeah. So, okay, because I was thinking, I'm like, am I crazy? Is there this other sort of twin sister, singing and songwriting
There are
duo
quite a few duos,
from
but-
around the Philadelphia-ish area that, like,
So we've
I
been playing
thought-
the same circuit pretty much for the past few years, I guess. I didn't even realize.
I guess so. Well, you guys, didn't you? If I understand, like you guys kind of, came onto the scene a bit about 4 years ago, right? With WXPN, weren't you
Yes.
guys? You guys were featured on there.
Yeah, our I believe our song "Start All Over" was featured on XPN Song of the Day or something like that. And I believe that was 4 years ago. You did your research.
I did a bit of homework. Don't give me too much credit. Don't give me too much credit. But how does that feel too? Was that the first time that any of your guys' material was on a station like that?
Yeah, that one in particular that was a shock for us because we weren't doing specific publicity for it, and it was definitely a shock for it to be picked as Song of the Day. But since then, we've been on some radio stations with Bob, of course, to promote for this. And Sirius XM, we've been on there a few times as well. So, I mean, the more the merrier for us, honestly.
Now, you go on Sirius XM and you perform When Something's Wrong with My Baby by Sam and Dave. And then you get invited to play with Sam Moore. What's that like?
Completely unreal. We can officially die happy now because Sam and Dave was a huge influence to us and still is.
And we were introduced to their music probably 3 years ago. And it was one of those artists that you go through an obsession with for about a year, that it's, on repeat in your car, and you know all the lyrics, all the songs. So we went through that for about a year, and then Dave Marsh, the Sirius XM radio host, he came to us saying that he wanted to put us on his radio show, but he had good news and bad news.
Okay.
He said, the bad news is you have to share your time slot with someone else, which we're like, oh, it's fine. We're used to sharing things. That's fine.
Yeah, it's...
And he said the good news is that guest happens to be Sam Moore of Sam and Dave.
It's like, Sam from Sam and
Oh
Dave.
yeah,
Sure.
so we naturally lost it and
said, no, we need our own spot. You lost it because you're like, how dare you?
How much of a diva do you think
Put
we
us
are?
on.
Sam, you could be our triplet. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, and I saw a little, like a video clip of you guys, each sort of flanking him on either side, right, and doing
He was
kind of a
twin
little
sandwiched.
bit of a call and response.
What drew us the most to Sam, and of course Sam and Dave, was them as a duo. It wasn't one as a lead singer and the other as a harmony. That's what drew us the most. Yeah. And for them being, so popular back then, you don't see that too much nowadays. So that's really what inspires us to kind of emulate them.
Oh yeah, I would say so. Have you found anyone else sort of contemporarily that do something similar in the not just a lead and a harmony, but kind of singing in unison, and then you guys sort of break apart and harmonize and then come back together.
Right.
Kind of almost it's like hearing you guys sing is like hearing the Rolling Stones play guitar. How they sort of weave their guitars together. You guys kind of weave your voices together.
That's a great comparison. Guitar playing with Rolling Stones. I don't know. Have you?
I mean, I don't know if you've heard of Lark and Poe. They're
No, I
another
haven't.
sister duo. They're a little more rootsy soul.
And they do
rock.
the Rolling Stones thing. They weave their guitars together.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in terms of like a lead and a like two leads, I don't see. Haven't seen too many.
Usually, it's always a primary singer and a harmony singer, which is unfortunate because I feel like you get so much more when you treat two vocals as leads.
Yeah, because, well, obviously being family is one thing, and being twins, obviously your vocals are kind of similar. And, when you go into the studio, sometimes like they'll have you, they'll say, oh yeah, can you double up this lead,
Right,
kind of
right.
thicken the sound, but you already have that
Right.
in this really natural and unique way.
It's funny. We did a charity thing a couple years ago, and we were lucky enough to actually meet Bruce Springsteen. He was one of the attendees, and he happened to sit in on our performance. And he came up to us afterwards and he said, "Oh, those sibling harmonies, they're great. I love the sibling harmonies." And I said to him, I said, "Oh yeah, it's like you and Steve Van Zandt." And he said, "No, it's nothing like that. You guys are twins. Like that's the sibling thing."
Yeah.
So it was cool to see someone like that who we respect so much as an artist to say that to us.
Oh, I would say so. I mean, did he kind of give you guys, did he sort of pull from his bag of wisdom at all? What was that?
It honestly felt like that.
Yeah.
But we got to talk with him a little bit beforehand, and he seems like one of the most down-to-earth people.
Like everything you would expect, of what you would imagine Bruce Springsteen to be, that's exactly who he is.
Ah, that's so cool. So I need to add that. Basically, I need to add that to my list. At some point, got to meet Bruce Springsteen and, talk to him about harmonies.
Highly recommended.
So in addition to Sam Moore and Bruce Springsteen and stuff, you've worked with a couple of notable people on your records. You had one of Bryan Adams' guys play. You had a couple of the Letterman Band members play on some of your recordings, right?
Yeah.
And
You really did do your homework.
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's your question.
But my question is, how open, what's the process like when you work with true music vets like that? Like people, it's not like, someone from the scene who's been playing for, 10 or 15 years or anything. No disrespect to people like that, but someone who has toured someone who's played in Japan or played in Europe or played, all over the world, they come and they record with you guys. Are you two ever open to suggestion from them? Do they ever say, hey, I think this song might sound a little better with this, or hey, do you mind if I do that? Or do you two remain open to your studio collaborators making suggestions, or is it more these are the arrangements and this is how you want them done?
That's such an interesting question, because for us, we went from when we were starting out, the process was very sterile for us. We were working with people where they would pretty much just have us come in and sing, and they would finish the rest. So when we were introduced to these musicians, we were expecting them to almost be that way, but it was the complete opposite. They asked us, do you like what I'm playing? Or like, what do you guys suggest? They almost treated us as complete equals, even though we didn't feel that way when we were going in.
And we were first introduced to them when we were around 17, 18. Okay. So we were still fairly new to this business and figuring out our sound and everything like that. So in a way, they really pushed us to and inspired us to become band leaders and really make a vision for ourselves and take charge in a creative way. But they're very, very open and made us feel very comfortable, which was a great start to us really taking charge of our careers early on.
Yeah, and I'm sure that, working with people like that, I'm sure maybe even in small but profound ways, changed how the two of you, kind of continued along with, your future recording processes, I guess, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
So it's been a while since your last record, and you released your new song "Young and Inexperienced" back in January, and it's gotten some pretty good. Got a lot of people listen to it on Spotify. That's where I heard it, and a really nice write up in Billboard. How's that doing?
Man, it's unreal. Like you said, we released it last month, and the reactions have been incredible.
Yeah, they're called Billboard called it this generational kind of anthem.
It's funny hearing
that's
that.
Amazing. WXPN, great. Sirius XM, great. Sam and Dave, Bruce Springsteen, and now this big. Now you've got these associations, and now it's you put this song out that's now this could be a signature for you guys. You know what I mean?
It's interesting because when we wrote the song, we wrote it just from an observational standpoint. So we never meant for it to be some sort of anthem for millennials.
Because we never went to college. So we haven't experienced that, personally. So because it was a reaction from what we were seeing, it's pretty much us showcasing the real life situation of what it's like to come out of college and the struggles you go through, and maybe showing, it's not the way that it used to be where you go to college and have the American dream and you automatically have a job.
Yeah.
It's funny because millennials are viewed very, I don't want to say.
You can say negatively, or a touch oversensitive, or whatever.
You do have. Don't get me wrong. There are some that aren't, that may be more lazy than others, but it's pretty much we wanted to showcase the ones that do work hard and they are going out there to make a difference.
And the point of it all was really just to strike a conversation, get people talking about the issues that are going on now with finding work. And we realized that this is an issue that's been going on for a while. So not only people our age who relate to it, but people, older generations. This is a struggle that's been going on for forever.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really cool to see that reaction, just online and in person.
Do you, now that this is reality for you, do you now feel, and you're getting the positive reaction that you are getting, do you now feel going forward some type of responsibility to kind of continue that conversation? Or is it now just back to writing about whatever else is on your mind, or maybe a combination of both?
I mean, I definitely feel like a lot of these new songs that we are writing and the songs that we will be putting out in the springtime, we'll be putting out a full-length album sometime in the spring. We realized when we were compiling the songs, a lot of this material relates to people our age. And that was just by accident. Whenever we put together an album, or whenever we write songs, we just write what comes to our heads, what inspires us, and then at the end we see if there's a common theme. And the biggest common theme was just things that people our age are going through.
It's my last question for you is, I love my sister very, very much, but I'm not sure I could work with her on something as continuous and life-defining as a musical project. What are some of the challenges that you two face as family, growing up together, living together, and now kind of professionally tying one's success to the other's work ethic and vice versa?
We were talking about this a little bit earlier. People always think that whenever you see twins working together, or just twins in general, you think that they always hate each other, or there's competition or anything like that.
Oh, no. Anything. I'm just saying, how is that? How do you handle that? How do you handle when difficulties, inevitably arise?
For us, it's actually super.
It's easy.
It's super easy. Yeah. Because we almost we have the same brain when it comes to certain things like our work ethic. Creatively, we tend to like the same music. So for us, it's been an easy ride, and we almost treat it as, it keeps us grounded. And of course, we do have disagreements. It's inevitable, but it's usually a 10-second rebound to come together.
It's really convenient to have someone that's been with you your entire life going through, because music business is definitely tough. I'm sure we can all say that.
Oh yeah.
And pretty much knowing that someone is there, knows you frontward and backwards, and knows how you want to go into the music business, it's nice to, like you said, have someone that grounds you.
Well, thank you both
Thank
for coming.
you.
We're going to take it back to Chris, and then we're going to get you guys in for a live studio performance.
Awesome.
One More with Brian Erickson is brought to you live from Mammoth Music in Red Bank.
All right.
Established in 1987, Mammoth Music is located at the center of historic Red Bank, New Jersey. Voted third best town in the United States by Smithsonian Magazine. Number one, of course, being Stanton, Virginia. We're located within walking distance of the famed Count Basie Theater, Red Bank train station, and many fine eateries. Mammoth Music continues the tradition of being a destination store for all levels of musicians, both beginner and professional. New owner, Mario. Hey, Mario. A lifelong musician offers a wide selection of brand name instruments at everyday low prices, both new and used, with personal, professional, and expert service only a family-owned and operated store can provide. Does the neck on your guitar or banjo need repairing? Do the valves in your saxophone need to be refitted? Regardless of what day it is, bring your instrument to Mammoth Music for quality repairs. You'll enjoy prompt service from a team of repairmen who are always available. And now, ladies and gentlemen, God, hope it, Nalani and Sarina. Take it away.
This song's called Wake Up.
Whoop, 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 wake up now. Whoop, 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 wake. Whoop, 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 wake up now. Whoop, 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 wake. Streets of Atlanta, cause a heart. Don't wanna blink an eye or miss a beat. Turn around the corner, I'll find something different. Maybe we could get lost permanently. And we could stay here forever, as long as we're together. Won't you come my way? Hey, everybody wake up now. Don't hide away, hide away. Everybody wake up now. Till the break of day, break of day. Everybody wake up now. Up now, up now. Everybody wake up now. Don't hide away. If only I could widen my field of vision, capture the moonlight surrounding me. Hey, I can feel my intuition taking over naturally. And we could stay here forever as long as we're together. Listen when I say, hey, hey, everybody wake up now. Don't hide away, hide away. Everybody wake up now to the break of day. Wake up day, everybody wake up now, up now, up now. Everybody wake up now. Don't hide away, hide away. Everybody now. Whoop, 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 wake up now. Whoop, 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 wake. Whoop, 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 wake up now. Whoop, 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 wake. We ain't got no place we gotta be. We ain't got no animosity. And then it hits me suddenly. Everything I need is right in front of me. And we could stay here forever as long as we're together. Listen when I say, everybody wake up now. Don't hide away, hide away. Everybody wake up now to the break of day, wake up day. Everybody wake up now, up now, up now. Everybody wake up now. Don't hide away, hide away. Everybody now. Whoop, 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 wake up now. Whoop, 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 wake. Whoop, 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 wake up now. Whoop, 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 wake. Whoop, 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 wake up now. Whoop, whoop, wake. Whoop, 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 wake up now. Whoop, 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 wake.
We're now going to play our new single. This one is called Young and Inexperienced.
It's cold today, was never this way. Passing faces I recall from a yearbook page. Moved back home, heavy as a stone. Boxes filled with clothes and piles of student loans. Well, I don't know why nobody's taking no one. People around me never have seen any steady pay. I don't know why they think we're worth nothing every day. We all say, can't get no job with no experience without no job. Just like no one takes me serious, working hard ain't hard enough. Can't get no job with no experience, you're not qualified to play a part. Am I blind or just delirious? I'm much more than young and inexperienced. Woo-hoo-hoo. Young and inexperienced. Woo-hoo-hoo. Young and inexperienced. 4 years slaved away for a piece of shiny paper in a frame. Parents are proud, at least for now. Well, I'm just one among a hungry, hopeful crowd. Well, I don't know why nobody's taking no one. People around me never have seen any steady pay. Mark my words, I didn't come all this way for nothing to hear them say, hurry up and wait. Can't get no job with no experience without no job. Feels like no one takes me serious, working hard ain't hard enough. Can't get no job with no experience, you're not qualified to play a part. Am I blind or just delirious? I'm much more than young and inexperienced. Woo-hoo-hoo. Young and inexperienced. Woo-hoo-hoo. Young and inexperienced. Woo-hoo-hoo. We're all waiting for our time to come. We're all waiting for our time to come. I'm just trying to be someone. We're all waiting, I'm still waiting. Can't get no job with no experience without no job. Feels like no one takes me serious. Working hard ain't hard enough. Can't get no job with no experience. You're not qualified to play a part. Am I blind or just delirious? I'm much more than young and inexperienced. Woo woo woo. Young and inexperienced. Woo woo woo. Young and inexperienced. Woo woo woo. We're all waiting for our time to come. Woo woo woo. Young and inexperienced.
I am almost offended at how good that is. All right, let's do this week in events. I'll try not to yell that much because there's like lessons going on. Monday, March 5th, Levy and the Oaks play the Wonder Bar with Well Wisher, Late Waves, and West Means Home immediately following the show. Finish the show and then go to the Wonder Bar. See Levy and the Oaks. Tell Dwayne he's cute. He is. Tuesday, March 6th, it's Nash's birthday. Love you, Nash. We should put the camera on him, but he's shy. He's a little shy boy. Rachel Anna Dobkin plays Union Pool in Brooklyn at 8 p.m. I'll be there. Bobby Mahoney will be the featured performer at Meatballs and Brews in Rahway. Weekly open mic. Run by Brittany Dixon, Brittany on Fire. Sign-ups are at 8 p.m. It's an all-ages event, so to all of our viewers under 21, it's past your bedtime. This one's for you. Ricky Stein and one of my favorite bands of all time, Oil, is at Arlene's Grocery tomorrow night. Wednesday, March 7th, Fern is at the Celtic Cottage Pub in Long Branch with Jacob Daniels and Ryan Flood. That's a Nightwing Presents show. You got to go to that. Thursday, March 8th, Jackson Pines is at John and Peters in New Hope with Joseph Alton Miller and Nate Marshall at 8 p.m. Strange Ranger, Paper Fire, Pear, Fires Motion, and Well Wisher are at the brewery at 8 p.m. I wrote that one myself, so I totally bombed that. Brian,
I didn't type that.
Yeah, shut up, Brian. Friday, March 9th, the Vaughns. Now they're all laughing at me. The Vaughns are hitting pianos in New York City with Loop Troop, a boy named John, Spooky, and come on, man, Avinome? Is that it? Avinome?
How do you spell it?
A-V-I-N. Let's do this later. Chris Rockwell's debut new hit emo rap album 10 Years of Breaking Heart at House of Independence with support from Lions, Cranston Dean, and more. Doors at 8 p.m. A Bird is at FM Lounge in Jersey City alongside Deborah Devi and Karen Cole, and Colton Kaiser and Mac are at Langosta Lounge in Asbury Park. That starts at 9:30. Saturday, March 10th. Let's see if I can do all these. Deal Casino is at Rabbit Hole, New Brunswick at 7 p.m. Don't know what that is? Ask a punk. Slip on some vomit on your way down. RGD performs at Old Franklin Schoolhouse in Metuchen at 7 p.m. with Frequency Interrupters. Dentist kicks off his trip down to South by Southwest by playing The Saint. Never been there. Can't wait to check it out at 8 p.m. Pioneer the Ear will be at FM Lounge, which is still in Jersey City. News to me. They're playing with Shitheads, Rainbow, and Young House at 9 p.m. Overcoming Gravity is at the Grape Room in Philadelphia at 9 p.m. Come see them at the venue where it evidently all started. Dinosaur Eyelids are at Mill Hill Basement in Trenton at 9 p.m., which is Mill Hill speak for probably closer to 10:30, maybe 11. My band The Burns is at Arlene's Grocery on Saturday. We go on at like 10, I think. Sunday, March 11th, Raising Dinosaur, I Am Kirby, Sunset Vanities, and Greg Rikas perform at the Scarlet Pub in New Brunswick at 8 p.m. And of course, close out your weekend by seeing erotic novels at the Court Tavern at 8 p.m. Oh wait, also Inkwell is doing another Noise in the Attic. Top of my head, Catherine Quintana, Matt Responti are playing it. Also,
Matt Responti.
Go there. And also Keith Egan's playing. Shout out to Keith Egan. Now let's get back to the music and we can stop hearing my voice.
Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many a days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. Some people don't wanna know nothing. Wanna understand, they'll shake your hand and keep walking. Come Come on, stand up, say something. Are we awake or are we sleep talking? Come there. I don't care who you are or where you've been. I don't care if you love her or you love him. I don't care if you're somewhere in between. 'Cause on this road we're walking, together we'll be free. Learning that the earth keeps turning. You can stay right there and stare or keep growing. Come on, sit up, say something. It's a different kind of day, a new wind's blowing. Come on now, I don't care who you are or where you've been. I don't care if you love her or you love him. I don't care if you're somewhere in between. 'Cause on this road we're walking, together we'll be free. Be free. We'll be free. Keep on believing free. Keep hope alive free. Gotta keep on trying free. Till the day I die, I won't ever give up. I won't ever give up, banana. I won't ever give up, ever give up, ever give up now. I won't ever give up. I won't ever give up, banana. I won't ever give up, ever give up, ever give up. Keep it together. It's a long, hard road, but it's getting better. I'm in good company. I'll shine some light on you. You shine some light on me now. Shine some light on you. You shine some light on me. Yeah. I don't care who you are or where you've been. I don't care if you love her or you love him. If you're somewhere in between. 'Cause on this road we're walking, together we'll be free. We will be free. Ooh, ooh, yes we will. We'll be free. We'll be free. We'll be free. We'll be free now. We'll be free. We'll be free.
Nalani and Sarina, Bob Makin, Chris Dubrow, everyone here at Monmouth Music. I have been, and I remain Brian Erickson. This is One More. We will see you next week.
Thank you, bro.